Part 1 of Dred Scott v. Sanford. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Kelli Robinson in Birmingham, Alabama. Dred Scott v. Sanford. An Opinion of the United States Supreme Court. Part 1. Decided on March 6, 1857. Please note, this is a reading of the opinion of the court only. This reading does not include the syllabus or any concurring or dissenting opinion. For ease of listening, this reading omits legal citations found within the text of the court's opinion. Mr. Chief Justice Taney delivered the opinion of the court. This case has been twice argued. After the argument at the last term, differences of opinion were found to exist among the members of the court, and as the questions in controversy are of the highest importance, and the court was at that time much pressed by the ordinary business of the term, it was deemed advisable to continue the case and direct a re-argument on some of the points, in order that we might have an opportunity of giving to the whole subject a more deliberate consideration. It has accordingly been again argued by counsel and considered by the court, and I now proceed to deliver its opinion. There are two leading questions presented by the record. Number 1. Had the Circuit Court of the United States jurisdiction to hear and determine the case between these parties? And number 2, if it had jurisdiction, is the judgment it has given erroneous or not? The plaintiff in error, who was also the plaintiff in the court below, was, with his wife and children, held as slaves by the defendant in the state of Missouri, and he brought this action in the Circuit Court of the United States for that district to assert the title of himself and his family to freedom. The declaration is in the form usually adopted in that state to try questions of this description, and contains the averment necessary to give the court jurisdiction, that he and the defendant are citizens of different states, that is, that he is a citizen of Missouri and the defendant a citizen of New York. The defendant pleaded in abatement to the jurisdiction of the court that the plaintiff was not a citizen of the state of Missouri, as alleged in his declaration, being a Negro of African descent, whose ancestors were of pure African blood, and who were brought into this country and sold as slaves. To this plea the plaintiff demurred, and the defendant joined in demurrer. The court overruled the plea and gave judgment that the defendant should answer over, and he thereupon put in sundry pleas in bar, upon which issues were joined, and at the trial the verdict and judgment were in his favor, where...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?